Greetings, participants in the first Ibero-American Conference on Modern Monetary Theory. My name is Pavlina Tcherneva. I'm a research associate at the Levy Economics Institute and associate professor of economics at Bard College. Today, I would like to invite you to join me and more than 6,000 scholars from around the world in supporting a call to democratize work in the post-pandemic world. The COVID crisis has exposed many pathologies in our economy in every corner of the world. We see that those whom we vitally depend on, the so-called essential workers, can barely make ends meet. They work under inhumane conditions, they're underpaid with no voice in the workplace. We see millions more who have lost their jobs with no certainty of returning to good, stable employment tomorrow. And we see a climate in distress, another existential crisis before us. A few weeks ago, in the midst of the pandemic, I joined a team of 8 female scholars who drafted a manifesto for the democratization of work, and the call was heard around the world, published in more than 40 papers around the world in more than 26 languages. Today, I'd like to invite you to join us. We believe that the future of work requires to democratize, to decommodify, and to remediate. Why democratize the firm? Workers have little voice in workplaces, little say in the conditions of their employment, the environment in which they work, the pay that they receive, and yet they are the backbone of every enterprise, of all of our essential public services, of all functions that support life. And we cannot simply allow the private market to be the sole guiding force of social provisioning. We understand that real change happens when people have a voice and the ability and the power to change the rules. If we want to change the inequities in the current economic system, we demand that the firm becomes a place of democracy, where not only capital has a say, but workers have a seat at the table, adequate representation, and voice in the governance of those firms. We also understand that change cannot happen if basic economic security is not provided to all members of society, no matter their social location, no matter where they come from, their personal circumstance. Economic security is a very basic human right, and that includes the right to a meaningful and dignified employment. We understand that the private sector does not create adequate employment opportunities for all, and thus we call for the decommodification of work by valuing the sorts of activities that have not been traditionally valued by production that takes place solely for profit, by valuing public service, by valuing care, and by providing employment opportunities for those whom the private sector has left behind. So we call for a job guarantee at decent living wages for all in public service that is democratically organized from the bottom up, enhancing participatory decision-making and improving the conditions of all who have been left behind. Finally, we realize and understand that the planet faces key existential problems. Democratizing the workplace and providing economic security for all will have little meaning if we fail to preserve our planet. And thus we call for the mobilization of our manpower, of all people, to work in ways to remediate the planet, to restore planetary balance, and to preserve life for all. I hope that you will join us in our work, not only to advocate for, but also to plan and to build coalitions and to begin the difficult but crucially important work to democratize, decommodify, and remediate. Please visit us at democratizingwork.org, where you can find the manifesto, the list of signatories, and our plan of action. I hope to see you all there. Thank you.